Welcome back to the AB Scale Project. I'm Krieger. This is Alpha Bravo, and today, by a sequence of events, I have acquired all the Xovergen or Xovergen or Xovergen, however you're supposed to pronounce their name. I have acquired all their products through various discounts and sales and clearances. And so I thought, let's go ahead and talk about this company's products, and we'll lump them all into one big post-mortem for the company. So here we have their Grand Patriot. This is their Rolling Thunder Optimus Prime. It actually doesn't look too bad. I mean, turn around here. He's got a bit of kibble here. This kibble up here kind of controls where his head is, so you can't really pack it away that much. Yeah. Has two massive guns. Again, get that thing to stay up. Pretty neat, and actually holds them pretty well. Legs, a little bit of shake in them, not too bad. Move the hip skirts out. Nice squeaky. That's about all you really get out of the knee, though. So, yeah. Nice and squeaky. Head keeps hiding. Yeah, that's really loose right there, the thigh rotation. He does have little extra guns here that can pop out too. He does have a matrix there that's pretty much just a disc, where if you take that out, you're going to have a hell of a time putting it back in. So we're going to leave that where it's at. His guns on the shoulders can come out. Yeah. Overall, not bad. I think this was their first product. So, pretty neat. It obviously isn't going to scale with any of the current Hasbro G.I. Joe Transformer crossovers, just because he is a deluxe scale. We'll bring in Super Cop Optimus so you can see that he is pretty much the Voyager scale. He's pretty close to the original Voyager scale, so he works well. You can put him in your Council of Primes, and he'll sit pretty naturally with them. So, not too bad at all. Alright, let's take a look at the truck mode. Before we go to truck mode, we'll show off one more thing. It does come with a trailer, and the trailer does have these little things you can pop off the side. Yep. Flip them out. And these can become more guns for them. They're very loose, but it comes with two of them, so you can deck them out with more guns there. You can kind of split this apart and take these big missile racks, and those are pegged, so you can put those in his hands, so he can have massive missiles in his hands. The head keeps hiding. But that's other option you can do to really arm him up for robot mode. The trailer also will turn into a base. I'm not going to spend too much time on that because I don't spend too much time on base modes. So we'll just go to truck mode and let you see what it looks like fully decked out. And here we have the Grand Patriot in his truck mode. He looks pretty good. Honestly, this trailer is kind of the weakest part of this whole set, just because it is so just hollow and kind of cheap. But you can take a look at it. Looks pretty neat. Turn around here. Of course, it has storage for the guns. You got the missiles there. And yeah, kind of rolls. Kind of weak. This little disc keeps on popping off, so that missile turret doesn't like to come on, and of course it has a hard time towing, but again, the weakness of the trailer. But the truck portion does look pretty neat. A lot like the original Rolling Thunder cab. And had to find videos to figure out how to transform it, because the way this thing works is really difficult, and of course it keeps popping off, so you have to figure out how it was attached in the first place, and yeah. But hey, it's not too bad when it's transformed. It's a passable truck. I mean, we'll bring in the Earthrise truck here so you can get a comparison. Not bad at all. I mean, not terrible. Trailer's kind of clunky and cheap, but yeah. The cab's a decent figure. Alright, let's go ahead and do our final assessment. So, is this our new IDW or G1 Prime? No. This is kind of a altered universe, Rolling Thunder Prime. If you want a Rolling Thunder Prime for the Chug scale, this is definitely it. Your only two choices are this and the TFC version, that's Masterpiece scale. So if you want one that scales with the other G.I. Joe crossovers, get the TFC. But if you want a Chug one, get the Crossovergen or Xovergen or Xovergen. However, get this one if you want a Chug, a Chug Rolling Thunder Prime. All right, let's take a look at their next product. And the second Xovergen or Crossovergen product I'm covering is their Master Armor, and this actually looks really good, and it's actually really cool. It can function as a standalone toy. I've got my Nemesis Prime in here right now, so that works really well. This is the Vindicator mode with the extra parts put on. In the original Master Armor, the one that was for the Classics Optimus Prime, this part didn't do anything. It was just kind of a piece you left to the side, but with the Nemesis version, they figured out how to turn it into an extra backpack, and I think this looks really cool. He stands pretty well. It is a lot of ball joints, so I would probably anticipate a lot of those loosening up over time. But as he stands, it's not too bad. Biggest complaint is like with all of these is that their instructions, this is a black and white of a color copy because they just took the Optimus Prime one and made it black and white, and they gave you some vague instructions to try to figure out how to get there. So, yeah. But otherwise, he just looks really good. And one cool thing is that this plate up here that holds the head, they came with another plate so that you can actually put a G1 Prime in, or in this case, the Masterpiece version of the G1. You can stick that in, and a happy coincidence is that it'll also fit the Earthrise, so you can do an Earthrise. It'll stick out a lot further, but you can do the Earthrise version. So that's pretty neat. So as a Power Master Optimus Prime, or Nemesis Power Master Optimus Prime as I've got here, I think it works really well. These guns can be held by the hands. The hands are fully posable, so they're kind of loose in the hands, so I like them better in this mode with all the guns up. And he looks just pretty menacing like this. So this works. I like this. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the trailer mode. One short stop before trailer mode, we didn't do a comparison. Let's bring in the Takara Jinrai there, and you can see, yep, he is a lot bigger. So that is pretty cool. And plus, you can put the whichever Prime you want to in the chest, so he is a true Power Master. And for another comparison, move Alpha Bravo over here. Move him. Like I said, he's surprisingly stable. Bring in the combiner. And you can see he's pretty much combiner size. I mean, that works for me. I mean, granted, with the scale chart, the God or the Jinrai should be shorter than the combiners, but this works where you can have him up there with your combiner shelf and look pretty cool. Anyway, now let's look at that trailer mode. And here we have the Master Armor in its trailer mode, and it looks pretty cool. We'll move out of the way just so you can see the coolness of it. There is a lot of red, so it doesn't quite match the Nemesis, but yeah, it's close enough. Gives a little pop of extra color, and full 360 of it. It's pretty neat. The latch is a little square, little rectangle there that goes on that notch there. You have to flip up the knee pads for it to work, and it just kind of presses in there. Of course, it'll come apart right when you drop it on the table, but not too bad. It's actually not a bad hookup. Really neat, especially for something that wasn't designed to really have trailers. For comparison, we'll bring in the Takara here. You can see, but the tail, you can see it's a lot longer. And of course, it is a separate cab, so that's a bonus. Let's see if we get a decent shot of both of them here. And see, yeah, less hollow because they packed everything away. You can pretty much find a place for everything except for the head and the head plate. But everything else you can find a place for. So the Master Armor trailer is actually not bad as a kit overall. Alright. Take that away. Bring Alpha Bravo back in. And we're going to go ahead and we're not going to do the G1 or IDW yet, because we're going to look at the God Armor. And the third crossover gen that I want to cover is their God Armor, their version of God Bomber. And he's really big, as you can see. He is fully posable hands. He's got double jointed elbows, lots of stuff. I just don't want to touch him because getting him to stand is a pain because these ball joint feet are really loose. So get him to stand freestanding right now is a minor miracle. So we'll leave it there. Does come with a ton of parts. Here's all the parts that you have to use to get him into the God Jinrai mode. And of course he comes with an entirely different set of parts to get to the MP10 God mode that I'm not going to show on this video because I figured out one God mode and that's enough. We're going to show that off at the end of the video. Again, my complaint about the instructions, they're black and white of a color copy, and not all the instructions are there. You kind of got to fill in the gaps with your own imagination. Find some videos online to try to help you out there and get there. I mean, they kind of give you the end state and hope you can get there and pick out the right parts to get there. Yeah. Anyway, and there he goes. So, convince him to stand again. I'm kind of cheating and using those foot skirts to try to hold weight. Get him to stay up. Alright, here he is with the Takara version. And as a static display, he actually looks a lot better than the Takara version, I think. It's more proportional, looks more like a standalone figure than this. That's obviously a cobbled together pile of parts. So, yeah, in the looks department, it definitely does a lot better than Takara. But of course, this can freestand without me having to worry about him falling over. And we'll bring in the Master Armor so you can see how big it is next to it. See if I can get enough of them in shot. You can see it's a pretty good scale with each other, where the God Bomber is about the same size as Jinrai. So, yeah, not too bad. Let out. Yeah, pretty neat. So, let's go ahead and look at the trailer mode. And here's the God Armor in its trailer mode, although it looks a lot more like a truck than a trailer. I mean, this guy is huge. Just to illustrate, we'll pull in the Master Armor here, and you can see they're pretty much the same size. Let me see if I can show you both here. Yeah, you can see they're pretty much the same size, so it's a whole extra truck there. I mean, also the fact that there is no hitch, that there's no way to attach this to the back of the Master Armor, that it pretty much has to travel on its own. It did come with a piece that looked like a hitch. Like, I thought this was to find some way to hitch it to the Master Armor, but the only purpose that I can find that this piece does is holds this piece to this piece in robot mode. That's the only reason why that's the other this. Yeah, I forgot about this when I was doing the robot mode review section. But anyway, yeah, let's give it a quick spin so you can see all the sides of this. It's kind of loose here, so it doesn't. If I go to the next click, it doesn't fit. This is about the closest it does, but it still kind of breaks in the middle. Yeah. You do have to have the God armor mode, or the God Jinrai mode extra booties on here to make these to fit. This one, it's really kind of a mess, but yeah, I mean, it is a vehicular mode. And just in comparison, there's the Takara. Yeah, Takara comes up a little short. uh, but yeah. But you see, the Takara does have a hitch on it, so it will attach to the back of the Jinrai. Whereas, like I said, this is just a standalone truck. And the bad thing about it is there's no place to put this. I mean, it has this big gun. All it needed is some sort of mount here, but there's nowhere to put it. I mean, in peg or handle mode. Put it that way. You kind of flip it over. Here we go. I mean, it just got a balance there. That's about the best you can do. All right. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the full God Jinrai mode and pass our final judgment. And here's the final Nemesis God mode. Yeah, eventually I'll paint the God Bomber stuff black so it all matches, but work within the realm of imagination here. And he's big. A lot of hassle to put them all together. Had to research a bunch of videos how to do it. Well, one video and watch it several times, and you still have this many spare parts. It's a little ridiculous. So, and he's pretty big, so bring in Superior on here so you can see size comparison there. Even with the Perfect Effect kit, he's still a head taller, which, being the God Jinrai, I guess, gets it close enough. Yeah, I mean, I think the God Jinrai is still shorter than the Combiners, so this is well outsized. But I mean, at least the core figure was a Voyager. Oh yeah, while I'm on that, there is one major drawback to the whole Master Armor, God Armor, is that the original figure doesn't fit in anymore. You can't actually do the God Armor combination and still have, Nemesis Prime still inside. So, one major drawback there. All right, let's pit him against our current winner, the Takara Legends version. You see, yeah, he's a lot bigger. I think the Legends is more of a close compromise of still being shorter than the Combiners, but still being tall. It's kind of a close call. I still like that the Master Armor is still something that contains a Voyager class figure. And really, if we went with the actual size Combiners, this would actually be the lot better scale. So, bouncing back and forth. Yeah. So, is this our new IDW G1 God Armor? Personal preference at this point, I'm going to say no, because it's still kind of stylized, and you have to use I guess you don't have to, but it goes with the Classics Prime, which is a stylized Prime. I think it'll work as my Nemesis Jinrai, or Nemesis, God Nemesis, something like that. We'll workshop the name a bit. But I think it works for that. But overall, I'd say still stick with your Takara and don't worry about digging up the Xovergen, especially with the amount of work that goes into just getting it this far. Just because the instructions are, I'm going to keep complaining about that until the end. But it does look cool. I'll say that. It is a cool looking set of armor. I mean, lots of posability. There is a lot of ball joints that are going to wear down after a while. The gun is massive up there. But yeah, it'll just be my god nemesis. But the Takara will still be my Power Master Optimus Prime or my Jinrai. All right, let's go ahead and wrap this up. And that's it for the story of Xovergen or Xovergen, however you pronounce it. They produced 3 things. They were okay. Instructions were horrible. Gratuitous use of ball joints that after a while I'm pretty sure will loosen up and not stand as well as see here, and already had a loose wing that, doesn't like to stay up. But not too bad. Picked them up on clearance, so I didn't pay full price, but the fact that I have to keep looking up different videos on how to transform them and what to do with the massive pile of parts the Master Armors came with. But, but they still look good. The God Armor is way outsized, but anyway. Thank you for joining us today on the AB Scout Project. Please like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, ring that bell, and I'll see y'all later.